Hey everybody, it's Chrissy from Earthgy. I wanted to talk to you today about meteorites because I've got a selection of a few in, and some of these are kind of rare. Actually, most meteorites are going to be pretty rare and expensive, but they can still be found. The most common one you might know about already is moldavite. Now, moldavite is found in the Bohemian Plateau in Czech Republic, Germany, and Moldova, and it's about 14.8 million years old. And there's three different theories about how it was formed. One theory is that the Earth was melted by the heat of a meteorite crash. So you've got the Earth melting. Another theory is that obsidian was formed from a lunar volcano, and then that came down on the Earth. And then the third theory is that a meteor hit the Earth, it vaporized what was there at the Earth, and exploded up into the air, into the atmosphere, and then fell back onto the Earth as this basically meteorite glass. So scientists have not decided on which theory they think is correct. Those are three different theories, but it is meteoritic, if that's a word, origin. Now this is a piece of faceted moldavite, which is really rare and hard to find. It's going to be smaller because these are so expensive and the pieces are generally small. To get something like a faceted piece is really difficult for me, but you're still going to see imperfections in it if you looked at it very closely. And if you go on eBay and you're shopping for moldavite, do not buy the stuff that's going for penny bids coming from China, because what they're doing is basically melting glass that's green and calling it moldavite, and it's not. It's fake. So basically, any of your meteorites like this, if they're cheap, they're probably fake. On to the next one. This is a ring. Now these are two moldavite stones in it that are raw, and this stone here that looks kind of like pyrite is called Campo Cielo meteorite. Now these are the same stone. Now pyrite wouldn't form in the raw form in cubical clusters, and this stuff looks kind of like pyrite that's been melted. So Campo Cielo meteorites are 90% iron and 10% nickel. They're found in northern Argentina, and the name Campo de Cielo means field of heaven. They were formed probably between 5800 and 3950 BC. And in 1783, there was an expedition by a guy that he was mining, and he came across this stuff, and he thought it was worthless. He thought it was volcanic, but he sent a piece of it to the Royal Society of London, and it came back as being assigned meteoric origin. So that's an interesting one. And then we have Gibeon meteorites. Now these are also iron and nickel. They're about 4 billion years old, and I don't know if I'll be able to get it on my camera, but they have like a crosshatch pattern going both ways usually. And the crosshatch lines are called, if I can pronounce this, Wiedsmanstatten figures. Now there's a couple interesting things about these. There are supposedly at least two famous swords made out of this stuff. Excalibur, the sword of King Arthur, and then there's a sword in Japan called, alright, I'm probably not pronouncing this right, Tentisau, which means sword of heaven. If you Google just Gibeon meteorite sword, you'll find some pictures of it. But it's pretty cool. It's like something you'd think of out of Game of Thrones. You could probably slay dragons with it. So these are Gibeon meteorites. So they're also iron and nickel, like the Campo de Cielos. But these have a totally different pattern on them. So, and there's a lot of other different kinds of meteorites out in the world. I don't carry them all because I honestly can't afford to. They're just expensive. But this will give you an idea of some that are out there, and hopefully you know what you're looking at when you're buying some. Enjoy.